Hello, everyone. It's True Sustainability, another episode, and let's talk papaya. So, as you can see here, this papaya is getting a little bit old. We've had it in the fridge. These seeds have a bit of a coating that goes on the outside. And if you're going to try to plant these papaya seeds and have them be viable, you need to go ahead and break up that outer piece of sticky, gooey film that's on the outside, or they will not germinate properly. So it's very important that you go ahead and do that. And it's one of the key steps, and then it will look kind of rigid. It'll kind of have a rough texture to the seed once you get that off of there. So that's one of the first steps if you want to grow a papaya. Also know that these grow very fast and that they do not do well with transplanting. So I came up with a good idea to be able to protect the seedling and have a good germination rate, and then when they actually become little tiny plants, that they can have outer protection and maintain moisture so that they grow when I put them in the ground. So basically what I do to make this process easier is I have a strainer, and then these are some seeds that had been soaking a little bit beforehand. So then we go ahead and drop those out of there. They were soaking with some water. And then I go ahead and I break up all these seeds and try to get all that outer mess off of them. So as you can see their little spiky texture. And you just do that to all the seeds and make sure that you don't have any floating ones. If there's any floating seeds, you can take those floating seeds out because those most likely won't germinate. And then you can leave the other ones that sink down to the bottom. And I've already done that, so there's not really anything to show for that particular portion. But I really love papayas because they grow really big. You can get upwards of 40 pounds of papaya from just one tree, and it is very, very sustainable. They grow within 6 they grow within 6 months and are able to actually have fruit come off of them to a year. So they're very, very fast growers. And so we're gonna go ahead and put these around the urban homestead that we have here, and try to get some to grow all over the place. So I'm gonna show you the next portion of the video, so just stay tuned. All right, so once you have the seeds all divided out and you've taken out the outer coating, then you go ahead and get a recyclable cardboard egg carton. Now these work really well because you can plant individual sections of the seeds. So if you open up that here, we'll show you. So you can put 3 or 4 in here, then you can cover it with soil and do the whole entire row. And what another cool thing about this is that it can be broken off in sections after you get it to germinate and the little plant starts to grow in it. Then it changes. It will be a little bit yellow because it hasn't had any light. And then there may be some leaves, little tiny leaf growth coming off of it. And then that's when you know that you're ready to take them out, and then you can cut them into sections or just break them off because this will get nice and soggy. So you put a little bit of soil down in the bottom, just enough to cover the seeds. So it will be about halfway full on the actual carton. And then what I do is I use mulch and soil mixture, and that seems to do really well. So then it will look like this one that I have here. that I've been that I just planted up. So there isn't any hardly any plants coming out of here. There's one that's a little bit starting to sprout out right there, but this particular one was an experiment. I did it without taking out the outer covering, and the germination rates were definitely a lot less. So you do want to take the outer covering off and make sure you follow that step. So like I said, it only takes, if you do take the outer covering off, it takes less than a week, maybe 3 to 5 days to actually germinate, and then you'll have something that looks kind of like this. So I have a couple of them that are just kind of sprouting up. They don't have a leaf coming off of it, but they will come back and put off a leaf if they remain healthy. So then, like I said, you can break them off, and you'll see that these two are separated. So you can take the excess off of the edges and just leave a little bit of what the cup is that's in there, and then you can plant this directly into the ground after you make some slits on the bottom of the actual cup here. So I make 4 slits on each side, and then that way the roots can go through the bottom and go into the ground. So we'll prepare these ones, and I'll show you how I planted in the ground, and then I'll show you one that's actually been in the ground that's starting to grow. All right, so now we are back, and as you can see, there's grass in this hole, so that will give some extra nitrogen, and that will also create some space for the water to go down into the hole. And I have created a hole here that can actually, that I'm filling with some dirt on the sides, and I'm trying to make it kind of a little bit deep, so where it has about an inch or two of a wall for the plant, and then the plant will grow up into the sun, and it has a little bit of extra protection around it. So now you can see that the hole is prepared. I'm gonna put just a little bit more soil in there, if you can call it that. And I did also mix the mulch and everything inside of the hole before I put the dirt. And then once that is in the center there, then I go ahead and fill the rest of the area with some more dirt. And then once that's been done, and it's a nice amount of loose dirt here, then I can give it a good water, and we kind of put a little bit of a thin layer up into the edge of that little cup that we've made. So we're gonna make sure that that's just nice and flush with this. Then I have some mulch that I spread lightly around, give it a little bit of extra protection, and then once we put those little pieces, then we'll go ahead and fill it with water, and then the dirt will start to come up and fill into the cup. So just stay tuned for that, and then I will go ahead and show you the one that's been in the ground for a little bit longer, a few days. All right, we're back. So I have my nice big watering can right here, and we're gonna go ahead and just put this around the plant until it absorbs a good amount of water, and then we're gonna let that go into the ground and kind of dissipate right there. So that is how you get it in the ground, and we'll watch that as it grows, and I will take you over to the spot where I have one that's been growing for a little bit longer, and it has some leaves coming off of it. So let's go ahead and head over in that direction. All right, guys, so look at this. It's been only a few days for this particular papaya plant and tree, and it's there's two of them sprouting through here, and they have some nice beautiful starter leaves. And we'll stay tuned, and I will give you an update as things go, so that you can understand how much that they grow and how fast that they grow. So stay tuned for some of those videos. Just as a tip, you got to keep those seeds in a dark area, nice and moist, and make sure that they're nice and warm. These are a tropical, subtropical type of plant, so it definitely does well in the warmth. I have a system that I have in my garage where I can keep them nice and moist, and in the garage it's definitely warm. So that's where I keep my seedlings when I'm germinating them and starting them to grow out. So this is true sustainability. You are the change. You are sustainability. If you like my videos, go ahead and subscribe and like them. And if you want notifications for future videos, go ahead and ring that bell icon.